Hello, this is MD Jalil, Assistant Professor of English, Department of English, Tara Government College Autonomous, Sangha. Today our presentation is on General English for the students of semester 3. We have been taking our presentation on the syllabus of semester number 3, General English, and we are in unit number 1. This unit number 1 is again divided into 4 sections. Among them, the first section is a poem, Life, Charlotte Bronte, and the second part is our today's presentation, a prose piece. After that, we have grammar and vocabulary sections. So, in the syllabus, under prose section, we have a short story written by Rabindranath Tagore. The title of this short story is A Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise. So this short story title tells us that the story takes place in paradise, and that paradise, all of us know what is paradise. In every religion, there is a belief that after the death of a person, he will be put either in heaven or hell, either in paradise or hell, according to his deeds. So this story is also deals with paradise, and in that paradise, it has been divided into different sections, and this paradise belongs to workers. So workers' paradise. But unfortunately, one day a man, and he was a wrong man, he was put in the workers' paradise. Then what happened? That is the story. So that is the meaning of the title, A Wrong Man in a Workers' Paradise. A man entered into a paradise, that is workers' paradise, but that man was a wrong man. So that is the title of the story. And this story, this short story is written by Rabindranath Tagore, a familiar personality, literary personality in Indian literature as well as in world literature. A person does not need any formal introduction because all of us know about Rabindranath Tagore. He was the contributor of our national anthem. So whenever we are related to national anthem, whenever we sing our national anthem, we remember Rabindranath Tagore. So this short story has been divided into different sections in the lesson, in the given syllabus, in the textbook. So we try to see each section one after other. The first section in this lesson, in this short story, is pre-reading. So before beginning the short story, there are some questions are given. If we go through these questions, if we think about these questions, we recollect, we remember, we analyze these questions, we will be connected to the theme of the present short story. So under pre-reading activity, some questions are given, and now we try to see the meaning and these questions. Okay. The first question, after going through all these pre-reading activity questions, you will be connected to the short story. That's why these questions are given. So look at the first question. Is asking in the first question, what are your hobbies? All of us generally we have hobbies at our leisure time, at our spare time. We spend that time on our hobbies because we are passionate towards those hobbies. So generally we will have hobbies in our lives. So if you have any hobbies, just recollect what are your hobbies, which things interest you. And the second question is, do you like any fine arts such as painting, music, dance, art, sculpture? Do you have any interest? Do you motivate towards any fine arts, such as painting, music? Do you have an interest in such things? Just remember this. And the third one is, can our hobby become our career? Career is generally the job that we choose to lead our life. So, if your hobby is very fascinated to you and you are very much interested in your hobby, uh, can you can you make your hobby as your career? Is it possible for you? The next one is, what value do you think art or artists have in our society? So art and the producers of the art, artists, some people, their full-time job is they live as artists and they spend their time on their art. So what are your opinions about these artists? What do you think? What is the place of these artists and art? The importance of art and artists in the society. What are your ideas? And the history of art is as old as human history. Do you agree with this? The history of art. So art is not a modern thing, or that is not invented by the modern man, but it has been a part of history. Do you agree? Because the people lived in caves, painted on the cave walls. The ancient man, the early man, who just lived like animals in the caves, also painted on the walls of those caves. Means that to tell us art, the element of art is even present in the from prehistoric period. So we can think that art is present uh, till that day. If we come to the last question, what is the utility of art? What is the use of art? Okay, somebody is creating some art, is an artist. But ultimately, what is the utility? Is it useful to the society? Is society getting any benefit from this art? So if you think, what are your ideas? What are your opinions? So by going through all these questions, you will get some idea about the forthcoming short story. So you can know that the coming short story deals with art and artists. So what is that? We try to see this short story in our syllabus. So just now I told you the name of the short story is A Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise, written by Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore is one of the great personalities that shaped modern India. He was born in 1861 and died in 1941. And in the next section, we try to see some information related to Rabindranath Tagore. About the poet, about the author, about the writer of this present piece. Rabindranath Tagore was born in 1861 and died in 1941. And Rabindranath Tagore was the first person, first Asian, not only Indian, but he was the first Asian to receive Nobel Prize in the field of literature. He produced many stories, many poems, many plays, but his seminal work, his classical work, Gitanjali, brought him the Nobel Prize in Literature in the year 1938. This book, Gitanjali, has been translated into many languages of India as well as world. And Rabindranath Tagore is just not only a writer, not only a poet, he was a multi-faced artist. Basically, he was a poet, novelist. He produced many novels, a playwright, a dramatist also, he's a painter also, and music composer, as well as in the field of philosophy also he contributed, and he was also renowned educationist, and who contributed to design Indian modern education system. And Rabindranath Tagore is also known as the founder of the experimental school Shantiniketan. He established this school, Shantiniketan, to experiment on the methods of teaching and learning process, and where the students are given more freedom to learn according to their choice. This school is also known as open air school, and later the school has been evolved into a university, which attracts the students all over from the world. And Rabindranath Tagore was a very honorable person, and Mahatma Gandhi used to call Rabindranath Tagore, he gave him the honorific, I used to call Rabindranath Tagore as Gurudev. So Mahatma Gandhi, considered Rabindranath Tagore himself as his guru. The present short story is also written by this great personality. Actually, this story was originally written in Bengali language. Later, a person named Babani Bhattacharya has translated this short story into English. So now we try to move to the next section, the short story in this unit, that is about the short story. So here we get some brief introduction, some basic information about the background of this short story. During the early 19th century, there took place a debate between the intellectuals of Europe, that some intellectuals questioned the value, the importance of art. They argued that art is contributing nothing to the society. It has nothing to do with the production. So then what is the need? So art is useless because it is never related to production. So what is the use of art? So it is a useless. But some intellectuals said, no, art is, though it does not relate to any production, it is always present with human emotions, with human existence. So there is no need for art to have any meaning. So they said that art exists for art's sake. So this was the debate went on in Europe in early 19th century. So then a French philosopher named Victor Cousin gave a slogan, he coined a slogan. That slogan was art for art's sake. So art will be there for art's sake. It is nothing to do with the society or people who are interested, they will involve in art. So art does not need any justification. It does not need any purpose. It does not need any meaning. Art exists for art's sake. So these were the two ideas that prevailed during that period. One is art is useless because it does not serve any purpose. But the second argument is art for art's sake. Art exists for art's sake. And this slogan was coined by French philosopher Victor Cousin. So the idea of this slogan expresses the idea that true art needs no justification. Art exists for itself. It does not need any justification. That was the true idea of about art for art's sake. And the only objective of art is the pursuit of pure beauty. Pursuit means the search, the only objective. There is only one objective is there for art, and the objective of the art is it pursues, it searches, it looks for beauty, for a kind of pure beauty. So it searches for pure beauty. That's it. It may not have any purpose, but its search is for beauty. And Tagore present these complex concepts. So Tagore supports this slogan, this concept that art is for art's sake. So by supporting this concept, this idea, he presents this idea in the present short story in a simple and very humorous way. So how art exists for art's sake, art for art's sake, is exhibited in our present coming short story. So before beginning the short story, I try to introduce you some characters that will present in the short story. Because basically this is a short story, hardly covering 2.5 printed pages. So there are, since it is a short story, it consists of very few number of characters, and but just I try to give you some brief introduction about the short story, the characters in the short story, and after that we try to move to the main story. So in the short story, A Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise, written by Rabindranath Tagore short story, we have these important characters. The first character is an artist. An artist is there. And the second character is an aerial messenger, a messenger from God. And this messenger, he exists in air, aerial messenger. His duty in the story is to take the dead souls to the heavens, heaven or hell, and place them according to their deeds. So aerial messenger, an imaginative character is also there in the short story. And we also have an active girl in the short story. And we have a minor character, the president of the workers' paradise. There is a person who is the president of the paradise, he is also there. And some unrecognizable characters, the workers in the paradise are also there. So these are the important characters in the short story. After that, I try to give you brief setting and these things, the things related to this short story. The setting of this short story is paradise, and the place is the paradise. The place where the action takes place is workers' paradise, and the time, the duration of the action, the duration of the short story is few days, and the genre, the type of this prose piece is it's a short story. Right. Now we try to see the short story in detail, and after that we try to see some one or two remaining parts of the text. So now we try to see the short story. This short story begins like this. The man never believed in utility. So this short story is introducing us a man who never believes in utility. Having had no useful work to do, he indulged in mad whims. So he does not believe in utility, and he does not believe uh, doing some work. So always he was involved in some of his whims. Whims means a strong desires. He was led by his whims. So whatever whim, whatever desire comes to his mind, he tried to use that. He made little pieces of sculpture. He's interested, he made sculpture, men, women, and castles, paint earthen things, dotted over with seashells. So during his leisure period, he did many artistic, he prepared many artistic things. He painted whenever he liked, he painted. Thus, he wasted his time on all that was useless and unnecessary. So, his entire life he spent on his art, making some artistic things, but he never did a useful thing. People laughed at him. So people who looked at him, they used to laugh at him. Look at this man. He is not doing any useful work. Just he's wasting his time. He's spending his time on unnecessary things. By saying the people use it to laugh at him. Sometimes he would vow to shake off his mind, his mad whims, but his mad whims would keep clinging to his mind. Sometimes he even wanted to come out from his whims, but they never left him and they were very near to his mind. So his entire life he spent with his whims. Some boys never fly their books and yet pass the examination. Sometimes it happens. Some boys they never study properly for the examination, but even though they get passed, it happens. And the similar thing happened to this man. He spent all his time in unnecessary work on the planet Earth, yet after his death, the gates of the heaven flung upon him. Even though he did not do any useful work in his life period, but luckily, when he was died, the gates of heaven were opened for him. So he was taken to the heaven. And the aerial messenger, the second character that I introduced in the earlier part of this presentation, the one aerial messenger was given the in charge to this person, and the aerial messenger has taken this man to the paradise. So here we have a summary. um, that summary I try to explain you, that gives the important point, the gist of the short story. So we try to see that summary now. I try to share that summary in this presentation. Right. So the summary tells the brief happenings of this short story. This story is about an ideal artist. This artist wasted all his time on painting that was useless and unnecessary. Surprisingly, after the death of this person, he was sent to heaven. Just now we have seen that some boys they never fly their books, but even though they get passed in their examination. So the same thing happened to this artist, and surprisingly, this man was sent to heaven. The aerial messenger who took the charge of this man mistakenly put him in workers' paradise. But I think in a hurry or in a busy, the aerial messenger who was the in charge of this particular person took this man and he placed this man in workers' paradise. Actually, he was supposed to taken to the artist paradise where artists stay, but he was mistakenly placed in the workers' paradise. In the paradise, everybody was busy. When this man goes into the paradise and he sees the men in the paradise, he observes that every person in the paradise was busy with their work. In the story, Togut tells us that there the men say, God, we haven't a moment to spare. And even the women say, let us hurry on, dear, time is flying. All exclaim, time is precious. So, since it is a workers' paradise and everybody is very busy with their work, busy with their schedules, nobody is idle. Everybody is doing his or her work. People are saying that time is precious. But this artist, he never did a useful thing in his lifetime. And when he entered into workers' paradise, the conditions, the situations prevailing at workers' paradise amused him. He got a little surprised because he wanted to do no kind of work, but in that paradise, everybody was busy. The man did not fit in with the scheme of things in workers' paradise. So, observing the paradise for a few days, he thought that he could not fit with the schemes in the paradise. So, they look very odd to him. So, he thought that this place is not fit for me. And while staying at paradise, this artist observed an active girl in the paradise went to a torrent to fill her pitchers with water every day. So in the paradise, he observed that an active girl, a young girl, she used to take one of her pictures. Picture is a earthen pot which is used to bring water. So that girl is every day taking her picture and she is going to a nearby torrent. Torrent is a stream, a water stream. So she is going to a torrent and drawing water in the pitcher and bringing back in the home. So this artist observed this girl, and one day the girl saw the artist. Even this girl also saw this observed this artist because he was the only one person whom she was observing that doing nothing. Everybody was busy with their work, but this man is just standing or sitting idle and doing nothing. So immediately that girl also observed this artist. And one day she asked him that whether he had no work to do. Then she asked him, don't you have any work? Why you are just sitting or standing idle? Just why don't you have any work? Why don't you do any work? Then the artist asked the girl for one of her pictures to draw pictures on it. Then the artist answered him, "Okay, I will do the work, and the work is in your hands." Then she says, "In my hands. What do you want?" Then he says, "Give me your picture, so I can go on my work." She gets surprised and she thinks that this man wants to draw water from the torrent in the pitcher. So she tells the same thing to him. So, do you want to draw water from the torrent from my pitcher? Then he says, no, I draw pictures on your pitcher. First, she did not give any picture, thinking that it was the waste of time. So she was annoyed and she was surprised. So what is the use of painting? He paints something on the picture. So what will it produce? So she thought that it was wasting of time. So she did not accept his proposal and she did not give her picture to the artist. But this artist continuously goes on insisting for the picture. So one day, this girl gave one of her pictures to this artist. And when he took the picture, this person, this artist, drew some lines and colors on the picture. So immediately starts his painting work. He does some painting work on the picture. He drew some lines and colors on the. And when he completed his art, his painting, he handed over the picture to the girl. Then the girl asked this man what was the meaning of the painting. So, okay, you painted some things, you painted some colors, you painted some lines, some cycles, some. But actually, what is the meaning of this painting? Then he said, nothing. Then again she asked, then what is the purpose? What is the meaning? If there is no meaning in that painting, then what is the purpose of that painting? Then he said, no, nothing. He said, nothing served and any purpose. So she gets surprised that is such a thing exist in the world which has no meaning or which purpose? And she takes the picture and she goes home. She scans all the picture, but she could not understand any meaning or any purpose of that part. And when she goes to bed and she could not sleep, and she gets up and she examines the picture once again because she wants to know the meaning of the picture. What does it mean? And but she could not understand it. So this thing, such a thing happened to her for the first time in her life. Such a thing never happened in our life, that which has no purpose or meaning. Later, after a few days, again the artist made some beautiful ribbons ribbons and presented them to the girl. So now this girl was attracted towards those artistic things, towards those ribbons, and she started examining them, and she started spending some time with those ribbons. So slowly, when she started attracting towards these artistic things, slowly her works were put in pending. They were postponed. So before that, every work used to be completed in the stipulated time, in the prescribed time. But for the first time, again, for the first time, the works are started being postponed. So gradually, by seeing these artistic things in the paradise, people started attracted towards these things. So slowly, people started uh, taking notice of these things and started spending their time on these artistic things. So they started their time on unnecessary things such as painting and sculpture. So in this way, the work in the paradise had begun to suffer. So now slowly, as people are spending much of their time on artistic things, the work in the paradise started suffer. So after a few days, when this kind of situation was prevailing in the paradise, now the elders of the paradise came to know that something wrong happened in the paradise. Before that, everything was fine, everything was going according to the schedule. But for last few days, every work was postponed, and the work was suffered. So what was the reason? And they called for a meeting. All the elders appeared in a meeting, and when they inquired about the reason for this suffering in the paradise, they come to know that an artist has entered into the paradise, and because of because of his creations, because of his artistic things, people were attracted towards those things, and now people are spending their time on those artistic things, so that the work in the paradise is being suffered. So immediately the elders, they called for the aerial messenger who had brought this artist to the paradise. And the aerial messenger has come to the meeting, and he confessed that he had put a wrong man in the paradise. He agreed that by mistakenly I have put this man into your paradise. So immediately the elders of the paradise observed, identified the damage done in the paradise, and if the artist is permitted to stay for some more time, the entire thing will be destroyed, damaged. So immediately the elders called the artist and they summoned him to leave the paradise at once. The artist was also happy because he was, of course, not at all happy in the workers' paradise because he did not get much company. So he was happy to go to artist paradise instead of workers' paradise. So immediately he gathered all his belongings, his things, his brushes, his paints, and everything, and he wanted to leave the paradise. But to everyone's surprise, when the artist wanted to leave the paradise, the girl, the active girl, who was bringing the water from the torrent, the young girl, asked the artist to leave. She also wanted to leave the paradise, and she also wanted to go along him. So it surprised everyone. So in this way, the story ends as the artist and the girl leave for the artist's paradise. So in this way, Rabindranath Tagore presents the idea of arts for art's sake. So he says that there is no meaning, there should be no meaning or purpose or justification to have for art. Art exists for art's sake. So to strengthen the idea of the slogan of arts for art's sake, Rabindranath Tagore has written this short story, A Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise. So now we are left to by last two sections of this syllabus. So now we try to take a look at those sections. So to understand this story, there are some difficult words, there are unknown words, the new words. If you know the meaning of these words, it will make you a better understanding of the story. Here I listed some of the words and we try to see the meanings of these words in the short story. The first one is salt, means filled with joy, having happiness is salt. And the second one is jostle, means bump into or push. When everyone was busy in the workers' paradise with their work, the only artist was standing idle. So people in their hurry, they used to push this artist. So this word jostle you can use. And the next one is pitcher. Pitcher is a frequent word that comes in the story. And pitcher is a large pot which is used to draw water. Water. So that is called a pitcher. And the next word is ply. Ply means working busily, having very busy work. And this word was used by Rabindranath Tagore in the sentence that even though some boys they never fly with their books, they get passed in the examination. So fly is working hard, working busy with something. And the next word is pry. Pry means to look closely, have a close observation. And the next word is quaint. Quaint means attractive because it is old fashioned. Some things are antiquary things, they attract us because of their old fashion. The meaning of that word is quaint. Torrent. Torrent is a word that indicates a stream. And wisp. Wisp is a curl of hair. So curl of hair is called wisp. And some more words are also there, which may uh, you may feel difficult in understanding these words. We try to see those words also. For example, look at this word aerial. Aerial means moving through the air. Gasp, struggle of for breath is called gasping. And one more word, hustle. Hustle means to move quickly from one place to another. And the next one word is uh, peer. Peer means uh, look closely, similar, same age group. And the next word is scan. When the young girl takes the picture with her to her home, she scans the picture. So here scan is nothing but uh, looking carefully for something. And summon, the next one is summon. Summon means send for something. And whim. Whim are a strong desires, strong passions that generally prevail. Next, we have comprehension sections in the syllabus. There are two comprehension sections are there. One is comprehension 1 and second one is comprehension 2. So here are we have some questions. By going through these questions, we can understand the short story in a better way. The first question is, what was the mistake of the aerial messenger? Because of the mistake of the aerial messenger only, the entire action in the story takes place. So what was the mistake of the aerial messenger? The mistake of the aerial messenger was to put a wrong man in workers' paradise. Actually, that person was taken to artist paradise, but he was taken to the workers' paradise. So this was the mistake done by area messenger. The second one is, how do people in workers' paradise spend their time? So in the story, we cite men are crying that we have more work in our hands, we have no time to spare. The women were saying, hurry, we are busy, we have full work. So everybody in the paradise was busy. Nobody has leisure time, free time. What did the girl do after taking home the painted picture? The girl, because she did not understanding any meaning out of the painting on the picture. So when she went to home, the girl scanned the picture and she wanted to trace out the meaning present in the painting. And the next one is, what is the effect of the man's creation on the girl and other workers in the family? So when this artist started painting on the pictures and preparing ribbons and making artistic things, the new things, the creative things, slowly the first the girl attracted, later slowly the people of the entire workers' paradise were also attracted. So, what was the effect on the people when by the things created by this artist? So then, this man's creation, now people started spending their leisure time on the artistic things. In that way, the many things were postponed, as well as the work in the paradise was successful. What was the decision taken by the elders? Were they justified? So, what was the decision taken by the elders in the paradise? When the elders of the paradise come to know the suffering of the work in the paradise, when they inquired about the things, they came to know about this artist. So, immediately the elders have taken a decision to make the artist leave the paradise so that everything will be maintained. So when the elder of that paradise summoned this our artist to leave this the paradise at once, so that everything will be again become right. So these are the some important comprehension questions that we can go through. So in this way, in the short story, Rabindranath Tagore uh, tries to establish the idea art for art's sake. There is no need to have any um, art to have any justification or need. So thank you for listening this presentation.